My name is Diana, and in my previous post, I mentioned how I had been dealing with some depression for a few months now, and how yesterday was honestly a really bad day for me. Um, and I do want to kind of reiterate the fact that what might have caused depression for me or might have been a big deal for me may not be a big deal for someone else, but to me it was a huge deal. And we all deal with depression very differently. We all um, can have depression because of different reasons. So it's we're all different. Okay. So I want to start off real quick with giving a little backstory on my health because it honestly ties into what happened yesterday. So I think this is going to be like a two-part series or two-part video just because of just how much is going on, and I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. Anyways, so um, so back in 2011, I started dealing with some very, I'm going to call it odd, cramping. It was always on my left side, like my pelvic area. Um, and when it first started happening, it was just very sporadically. So every few months, and it wasn't always with my cycle. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. It would only last for a little bit, and it wasn't too bad. Okay, so I didn't think much of it. Um, that again, that was 2011. 2015, 16, somewhere around there. The pain started becoming more severe, more frequently, and it was basically lasting longer as well. Um, in 2019, I had something that was called laparoscopy done. Laparoscopy done. Basically, it's an exploratory surgery. So, for most people, when you have a surgery done, it's usually because they've already found something they're either going to remove or fix something. In my case, it was we're going to have a surgery to see if we can figure out what's causing your pain. Like, we have no idea, so we're just going to go look inside and maybe do a biopsy. So I had that done in 2019, and this is right when I first started working. So honestly, I felt terrible because I literally had only been working for about 2-3 weeks, and I had to ask for 2 weeks off, and I felt so bad. I'm like, I'm so sorry. This was totally a last minute thing. It really was. It was. She called me saying, "Hey, we need you to get this done. We're gonna schedule you for about like a week, I think it was." And I told them I literally just started working. Like, I can't ask for time off. They're like, you need to get this done. I'm like, ugh, fine. Anyways, so thankfully my job was amazing and they were okay with it. So I took the 2 weeks off. I think I even told them like I can go back in a little bit earlier. I was fine, but they said no. I was like, fine, whatever. So um so I had that done again in 2019. And then in 2022, 23, somewhere around there, I think it was 22, I ended up having a different laparoscopy done through my new insurance. Because again, they needed to get something updated, and I was going through the pain all over again. It was getting really bad. It was getting to the point where the movements it takes a normal person to sit down or stand up, which for most people is just a swift movement, like you don't pay much attention to it. You sit down, you stand up, no big deal. But there were moments for me that the act of sitting down or standing up or moving from one side to the next in bed was torture. It was so painful, I would cry because of how bad it was. There was a moment where oh my gosh, I felt so bad. I was sitting on the couch and I don't remember what it was. I think I had already had to take the day off from work because of how bad the pain was. But I was sitting on the couch and I wanted to adjust myself to maybe a different position or something, and I could not do it. I started crying because I couldn't move. It hurt so bad. My husband had to come and help me. He literally had to help me stand up so I can turn and then sit back down. and it was painful. I don't know if maybe I'm the only person that deals with pain this way, but like when I'm in extreme pain, I feel like my whole body just goes weak on me. I don't know what it is. Like I feel like I just go weak. Like I have no strength in my arms and my legs. It's weird, but that's how it is with me. And so they had another laparoscopy done, and again, they found nothing. So they sent me to a different specialist in Woodland Hills, and he thought maybe it's, oh no, so before when they did the laparoscopy, it's because they thought it was endometriosis. Well, they didn't find anything. And so when they sent me to the specialist, they thought maybe it was PCOS. And I don't actually remember what PCOS stands for, but basically it's hormone based. And so what they did is they put me on 6 months of birth control, like an injection that basically stopped your hormones and made me go through like an early stage of menopause in a sense. So I was dealing with hot flashes and mood swings like crazy. Thankfully, it was wintertime when this really first started, so I didn't really have to wear sweaters and jackets that year because it was bad. It was just like I was having hot flashes. I actually had to stay either in the living room or in a guest room so I wouldn't have to like bother my husband with the fan because I had to have the fan on full blast. Basically, the entire night I had to have a little fan with me in my office because of how bad it was. And yeah, so it was a journey. Okay, so that's kind of where I was, and this was I started that treatment November 2022 and ended in April 2023. That's when the injections were supposed to stop working, basically the birth control. After the 6 months, they decided it must not be PCOS because you're still in pain. Now, the pain did subside a little bit, but I was still in pain quite often, and it was still pretty extreme. It just wasn't as often or as frequent as it was before. So I'm going to end this part there, just so that basically I'm going to then talk about kind of what happened yesterday. And yesterday was, again, it was kind of bad for me. So, yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next part, and yeah, okay, bye.